Hi, this is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton, and today we are going to, we got 6 pounds of ground pork on sale at our local IGA, and it's a pretty good deal. They got a fresh butcher shop there. It's the only one in town, and we're going to turn this into pork patties and into meatballs, barbecued meatballs. You can do sweet and sour meatballs over rice. This would be good in a meatloaf, like a ham loaf. Yum! So come along and let's get started. Alright, so this is the start of our pork sausage patties. We're going to take half of the pork sausage, half of that 6 pounds of pork, and then we're going to start adding our other ingredients. So I'll just wash my hands real quick. We're going to add just a little bit of onion, not much, just a little bit. Okay, we are going to add to this 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm going to double check my measurements. That's 2 pounds of ground beef. I got 3 in here, so I'm going to go 3 teaspoons of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper that I have already pre-ground. And you can use 1/4 teaspoon of marjoram in this, but we don't have marjoram. And quite frankly, I'm going to use what I had in my garden, and I have some dried thyme. And thyme, basil, but not oregano, or savory. Those are good substitutions for marjoram. And we're just going to put a good heaping teaspoon in, just like that, of thyme. Now we're going to add 3 teaspoons of dried sage. This is good in deer meat as well. Any kind of game meat that you might want to make sausage with. That's going to be good. Okay, we're going to add to this 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I like mine a little bit on the sweeter side, you know, kind of like the maple sausage that you can get. So I actually add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Gives it that nice maple flavor. We're going to add about 1/8 teaspoon of ground clove. And to be honest with you, I like clove, so I'm going to go with just a little bit more. You don't have to, but I like clove. I'll just put it all in there. I don't care. I like the clove. I still remember clove gum. And then we need 1/8 teaspoon of red pepper flakes per pound. So about 1/2 teaspoon. And you can add more depending on how hot you like it. My husband likes a little hot, so we'll go with a little bit more. Make sure we have everything. And I'm going to add a little bit of maple syrup to this. Or molasses. Molasses would be good, wouldn't it? I'm just going to add a little bit of syrup to it. Get a nice maple flavor. That's what I like. Lordy, that's good right there. Alright, and that's it. Now all we got to do is mix it up with our hands. Just like this. This definitely, ground pork definitely has a softer texture to it than ground beef. Oh, this smells so good. It's got a hot, sweet maple scent to it. It smells really good. You want to blend this really, really well. Now, if you have some intestinal casings or some non-intestinal casings, you can just put this on your blender and run this through the sausage machine. Like I said, you can do this with deer meat as well. And if you have a good recipe, be sure and post it below. I'd love to give your recipe a try. All right. Just blend it really, really well. We really want to incorporate those flavors. Now we're going to let this sit and let those flavors incorporate for about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes. You can cover this and store this in the refrigerator. There we go. Just make sure we get a nice blend to this. There we go. And we will be right back. Okay, we've just put these on some cookie sheets and just made these into sausage patties. And what we're going to do now is we're going to flash freeze these by putting these in the deep freeze. If you want, you can cover these up with a little bit of freezer paper, but you just don't want to freeze them more than probably an hour, or you'll start getting some freezer burn on them. Now here, I have the hamburgers that I made and the Salisbury steaks that I made in the other videos. I'll put those links right here, here, and here. See them right there? Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to wrap these up in foil, and we're going to put these in the deep freeze. And they're all ready to go. See, I individually froze them, then I stuck the little bit of freezer paper between them and labeled them, and we're ready to go. Now next we're going to make some hot and sweet mustard with some good old habanero, actually these are jalapenos, hot peppers, and a little bit of honey and some other goodies, so come back for that. Alright? This is Chef and Builder Janie Pendleton. And I hope you've enjoyed this recipe for sausage patties. Enjoy! Okay, we've washed our hands really well. A little bit of Crisco butter spray here, because that's my favorite. Any kind works. And what we're going to do here is we just got our Ziploc baggie out of the freezer from the patties that we made last night. And look how easy that just peeled apart. Just popped right off there. And we're just going to take them. I put them in frozen, that's fine. Make sure your skillet's hot. And you don't want to keep these or rinse these because they've had meat in them. Okay. We got some fresh eggs here today. And we're just going to... Now when you fry up these maple pork sausages, which is what I called them yesterday, you want to cook them for about 8 to 9 minutes on each side. 5 minutes if they're thawed, to 6 minutes, depending on how thick they are. So just make sure you have an internal temperature of over 170 degrees for pork, okay? And you can test it by simply sticking that down in the center and checking it that way. Just make sure that the end of this tip doesn't touch the bottom of the pan. That's about frozen, it's about 8 to 9 minutes on each side. Thawed about 5 to 6 minutes on each side. Alright? And we'll be back here in a minute for the big taste test. Okay, this is whether or not Lexi likes the sausages or not. Lexi, was they good?
Yeah.
Was they good?
She ate some.
Lexi, give me a high five. Good girl. Good girl. You liked it, huh?
I know you did.
Lexi, speak. Lexi, speak. Good girl. Got the sausages. John's just about got a meat in here. On some French bread and some eggs. So question, scale up to 10.
I would say a 10. I like it. It's very good.
The little bit of the maple flavoring and the brown sugar made a difference, didn't it?
Yes, it's very, very flavorful.
I put a little bit of, I'll have to go back and
so too, don't you?
Lexi loved it.